This is the first tutorial on array in C programming. Here I will discuss about what is an array, and mainly I will concentrate on what are the different ways to initialize array elements. An array is defined as a collection of similar type of data, that is homogeneous data stored at contiguous memory location. So array is collection of data and similar type of data. What is the importance of array? When we define any primitive type of data, say integer type of data, we define it, say int a is equal to 10. While we define the variable a like this way, what will happen? A particular memory location will be allocated for variable a, and in that memory location the data will be stored 10. Now in next moment, if we want to assign the value of the variable is 20, then what will happen? This 10 will be replaced with the value 20. Means in a particular variable only a single data is possible to store. If we want to store multiple data in a single variable, this cannot be possible by using this primitive type of data. So for this case we need array variable. Which type of data can be stored in array? Though the arrays are derived data type which can store the primitive type of data such as integer, character, double, float, etc. For primitive data type, we can store one value at a time into the variable, but we can store multiple value into a single array variable. Array is having a finite size, means while we define the array, we must need to define the size of the array. So array is not an infinite collection. Along with the identity means the name of the array, we should specify size of the array. How many elements we want to store? That should be defined by mentioning the size. Say A5. This indicates that A is the array variable with 5 elements. While we want to access any array variable, then always array is processed with index number. Index number for the case of array always will start from 0 and it will end with the value of size -1. In array, we can update any element without touching or disturbing the other elements. How to define the array? This is the syntax of array: data type, identity, size. Identity is the name of the array and size is how many number of elements. There is a number of elements. Size is nothing but the number of elements in the array. And the data type will indicate which type of data are there into that array. So for definition, the array must have a name. Inside this parenthesis, we must identify the size of the array, and before this name, we must indicate the data type. For example, int arr 5. Arr is the name of the array, 5 indicates the size of the array, and int indicates integer type of data. Say float num 10. Num is the name of array having 10 number of elements and the data are float type of data. Char ch8. Ch is the name of array having 8 number of elements and the data inside this char variable is character type data. Array is always processed with the index number. Index number always starts from 0 to size -1. Which one is the size? Inside the square bracket, the digit indicates the size of the array. Array may be defined with constant expression. Say for example, float a 10 star 10. Here the name of array is a, number of elements are 100. So that 100 might be expressed by this way. And what are the data type? Data type is float. Array might be defined with variable. See for this example, float w inside this square bracket, this is the variable and the value of this variable will be assigned by the user. Now how the memory is allocated when array is defined? Say array is defined int a10. A is the name of the array, size is 10 and integer type of data are there. When the array is defined, a memory block will be allocated for this array. Here 10 number of elements, so there will be 10 number of memory locations. And each memory locations are addressed with index. and index always start from 0, next index is 1, and the last index is always size minus 1, that is 10 minus 1, which is 9 here. So when 10 number of elements are there, the index is 0 to 9. So the memory locations are A0, A1, A2 like this way, and the last memory location is A9. Now what is the starting address of this memory block? The starting address of this memory block is always random. It is not user defined, it is defined by C compiler. For this example, say the starting address is 2000. What is the next address? The next memory location address must be after this 2000, means that maybe 2001, 2002, 2003 like this way, because the memory locations are contiguous. In this case, we have defined that array is integer type and say integer type of data needs 2 bytes. So the first data needs the memory location 2000 and 2001. The next data needs the memory location 2002, 2003 like this. Now there will be another box or another memory location, and this is for array itself. In this memory locations, the array elements or data are placed, but what is inside this box? And inside this box there will be the memory location, and that memory location is the starting memory location of this memory block. Variable A, this indicates the starting address of this memory block, so this A is just like a pointer. A is called internal pointer variable. So what will happen when an array will be declared? When an array will be declared, a memory locations will be allocated for that array. Each memory location is nothing but the array variable A0, A1, A2 like this. The array variable itself will point to the starting memory location of the memory block. What are the different ways the array can be initialized? We can initialize array directly. We can directly assign values of element using assignment operator. Initial values are placed within curly braces separated by comma. So in this example, say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, these are different elements or different values which are separated by commas, and these values are inside these curly braces. And this is the initial value of the array whose name is ARR. In general, we mention the size of the array inside these square brackets. But size of the array need not be specified when values of elements are specified inside the curly brackets. In this case, the number of elements are 5, so we may mention 5 inside square bracket. It is okay, no problem. But if we do not mention the size inside the square bracket, in that case also this is the valid expression. What will happen when we will declare the array like this way? As 5 number of elements are here, so 5 number of memory locations will be allocated, and first memory location 10 will be stored, in next memory location 20 will be stored, next 30, 40 and 50. When specify the size of array inside the square bracket, size must be at least equal to the number of initialized values. See here in this case, the total number of elements are 5. So here if we want to mention the size, we must write 5 or higher than 5. Means we never indicate here the value which is less than 5. Means if we indicate 4, that is not permitted. If we indicate 3, that is not permitted, because 3, 4 all are less than the number of elements which are specified inside these curly brackets. But we are allowed to mention the size with a digit which is higher than number of elements. In this case, number of elements is 5, so we may use here 5, we may use 6, we may use 7, which is equal to number of elements or higher than number of elements. Say for example, in this case there are 3 values 10, 20 and 30, but the size has been mentioned 5. 5 is higher than 3, so this is the valid expression. What will happen in this case? The first position 10 will be stored, the next memory location 20 will be stored, and next memory location 30. So 10, 20 and 30. What will be the rest 2 position? The rest 2 position will be stored with 0. Now if we initialize like this way, inside the curly brackets only a 0 is there. In this case, no doubt number of elements are 5. What will happen? In all the memory locations, the value will be 0. Now while we define the array like this way, no value has been initialized in this case, only written int array 5. What will happen in this case? When array will be defined like this way, 5 memory locations will be assigned, and what will the values inside those 5 memory locations? Those will be defined for local declaration and global declaration. What is local declaration? When the array is defined inside the function. What is global declaration? When the array is defined outside the function. For the case of local declaration, the memory locations will be filled up with garbage value. If we define the same array outside the function, that is at global declaration, all the values inside the memory locations will be 0. Now I am showing this too. Say here the array has been defined outside the main function. This rest part of the program is to print out the value. I will explain the rest part later. Now I am running the program and showing what will the value. What should be the value of these elements? The value of these elements should be 0. Now see, all the elements inside those memory location into that array is 0, 0, 0. Now I am changing this one inside the function, that is the local declaration. Now running the program, what should be the output? The output should be garbage value, no fixed value. Running the program, see the value something very higher, next 0, next 16. So all are garbage value. The initialization values could be constant or constant expression. Constant expression or expression built out of constant. Say for this example, 100, there is a constant value. Here we may define like this way. Say inside single quotation there is a, and the next third value is 2 into 7 into 5 plus 1. Here a and 1 are inside single bracket. This a and 1 are character constant. The num array is integer type of data. So first memory location 100 will be stored. The next memory location, the value will be 65. It is the ASCII value of character A, and this value, this is 70 plus ASCII value of this character constant, which is 49. Ultimately the data in third memory location will be 1 on 9. Type of its initialization constant should be promotable or demotable to array element type. So this num is the integer type of array variable. The initialization of this array is, the first element is 1.05, next character constant a, next 20.006. This is also a valid expression. What will the value in the first memory location? Value in the first memory location will be 1, value in the second memory location will be 65, value of the third memory location will be 20. Now what about the expression involving variable? Say in this expression, num is the array variable, integer type of data, but inside here see the second element, which is value star value minus 1. What is value? Value is the variable. User may define the value of the variable, and by this way the array can be initialized. So what will the data inside the first memory location? First memory location data will be 1, the next memory location data will be 24, and next memory location data will be 6. Next, how to initialize character array. Say S is the character array. Elements of this character array should be the character, and each character will be enclosed into the single quote. So first element is A inside single quote. Here for example this is space character, next character is B, and explicitly the last character is always a null character. Now what will be the memory location? When the array will be defined, then a memory block will be allocated for this array. This, according to this example, the array is having 4 number of elements, so 4 memory locations will be there. And the first memory location is for variable S0, next memory location is for variable S1, S2, S3, like this. In first memory location value will be A, the next memory location is space character, next memory location is B, and last memory location is filled up with null character. The starting memory location is a random. Say for this case the starting memory location is 2000, The next memory location address is 2001. This is for next character. As the character needs only 1 byte, so one memory location should be 1 byte. Now, how to initialize string constant? String constant must be within the double quote. Say this is the string constant, I am good. This string constant must be placed inside the double quote. For this string constant, curly bracket is not mandatory. We may use the curly bracket here or may not use. When the array str is initialized with this string constant I am good, how the memory will be allocated? Here in this string constant I am good, total number of character is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. By default, a null character will automatically be added at the end. So this is 9 plus a null character, so 10 number of characters are here. When this array will be defined, then 10 number of memory locations will be allocated for this array str. Say this is the memory block having 10 number of memory locations. As here 10 number of characters, so index will start with 0 and last index will be 9. So I will be stored in first memory location. In next memory location there will be a space character, next a, after that m like this, and at the last memory location a null character will be placed. There is another memory location which is for str variable itself. This will hold the starting memory location of this memory block. The function of this one is to indicate the starting memory location. Here few examples of initialization to check whether it is valid or not. So this already I have explained. This is valid expression, this is valid expression, this is valid expression, this is also valid. What will the data inside second memory location? This will be 65 and this one is 67. This one is also valid expression. This one also valid, this one also valid. Now for this one, see here parenthesis has been used. So this is not a valid expression. In this case, number of elements are 5, but here size has been mentioned which is less than 5. So this is not a valid expression. In this case, square bracket has been used for the initialization, so this is not valid expression. This variable has been used, so this is also a valid expression. In this case, the array with size 5, 2 elements have been initialized. What will be the third, fourth and fifth element? The value of third, fourth and fifth element will be 0, 0 and 0. In next instruction, here it says that the seventh element A6 is nothing but the seventh element is 5. But in the array declaration, here the size of array is 5. So first element is A0 and the last element here is A4. Means 5 memory locations are allocated for this array. But in this case, we are trying to define seventh number of element which is 5. So this is not a valid expression, because there is no memory location allocated for this seventh element. If we use this instruction and run, in that case we will get a segmentation fault error. In next tutorial I will discuss how to process array elements, how to use scanf printf instruction with for loop for accessing the array elements, and also I will discuss different examples.